Hello then, my fellow hunters. Today we have the battle of the mighty Mord Marauders, Gobul and Nibelsnarf. They are, well, pretty much just walking mouths, and they really like to, and hold on to your seats for this one, eat. But there is a lot more going on and a lot of fascination to be found. So firstly, Gobul is up. He is a Leviathan. They both are, but Gobul more traditionally because he likes the water. He has little kind of finny leg stumps that he can use to waddle around on land, occasionally to chase prey or just for the giggles, but he's not at his best there. He likes to hide in rivers snaking through lush jungle. He likes to hide in shallow pools close to shorelines. And hide is indeed the operative word here, because Gobul is essentially a cat angler puffer fish, like a horrific creation from an evil genius on a budget. So he buries himself deep under the riverbed and is able to change the colour of his skin, chiefly through it being slightly reflective, giving him a hazy and similar shade and outline to his surrounding murky water environment, in order to meld with it perfectly. And beyond that, covers himself in the loose dirt and stone that forms the river floor, making him almost imperceptible to passing creatures. There are only two telltale signs of his presence: catfish-like whiskers that he uses to sense the area around him, doubling up to act as faux flora, specifically airweeds, a plant that traps pockets of oxygen within itself that can be shaken loose for a quick little underwater breath, used by both monsters and hunters alike, and maybe deceive a sad little herbivore into their unwilling and unwitting final meal. Talk about biting off and then being chewed. So, that was terrible. Then, of course, there is the signature lantern. Anglerfish-esque and glowing brightly in the gloom. It can be flared up in a flash of brilliance, blinding nearby prey and predator alike, for Gobul, while he doesn't worry about much, does find himself at the mercy of both Legiocris and Plesioth. It achieves this by cultivating microorganisms within the sphere, and then secreting a chemical substance that, when it interacts with them, causes a reaction of glorious incandescence. But it's very easy to catch prey that have been stunned and blinded. Even Cotton could do it.
Hey!
But even in this, well, disorientated state, it's not just enough for Gobul to go and have a little nibble munch. No, he is a vacuum feeder. Suddenly, and without warning, launching his mouth wide, creating a sudden change in pressure, causing water to rush violently to fill this new cavernous expanse, and dragging in with it. Gobul eats his prey in one go. His mouth and stomach combined is essentially 90% of his body. But it does get a lot more worse. Sometimes! So Gobul then still has tricks left in his arsenal, and one of which, like the puffer fish he is part, is to inflate into a nice little ball of deadly spikes, and essentially go with, no, you can't touch me, because not only does it add rigidity to his entire form, making him much harder to penetrate, well, each of his spikes is coated in
deadly neurotoxin,
which which is used to paralyze would-be assailants or, on rare occasion, prey. However, he does not produce this himself, it is a side effect of his diet. So, Gobul is quite the terrifying little creature. He's equal parts nightmare fuel and... What is that? Oh my god! And I really love him for that. There is this horror aspect of one moment you're fine, the next moment you are being literally sucked into a gaping, waiting abyss before snap, the light is removed and you have to wait there, floating in burning darkness as you are slowly dissolved. It's not really pleasant, let's say. It is actually surprisingly agile, able to swim pretty darn quickly, outmaneuver foes, and get around them with bodily charges, little bites, and all manner of its little skullduggery. Now, it is surprisingly quite a calm, peaceful monster for the most part. It spends most of its time buried and waiting, and a single meal can last for days. It also does breathe air, so it is forced to the surface every now and then, but the final thing you need to know about Gobul is something truly disturbing. Not its swallowing food whole, not toxins or bacteria glowing vacuum jaws, hidden assaults, and its questionable appearance. No, Gobuls that you fight and find are adolescents. An adult Gobul, well, we've never seen one, but we know they deposit their eggs inland in the rivers and pools near easy prey for their young to hatch and grow until they're ready to return to the sea for the cycle to begin again. Which means out there in the deep blue ocean, along with the Cadeus and the Nikakos, there is a Gobul that makes ours look like a stuffed toy, gargantuan in size, and utterly frightening. The guilds never put much actual tangible effort into even slightly apprehending an adult specimen or even catching them depositing their eggs, but what we do know from close examination of the Gobuls we capture, they are not developed, and as such, well, Papa and Mama have to be somewhere. It is kind of like, oh god, imagine. So, let's move on to his sandy cousin, for they are quite related. I mean, as I said, they're both essentially walking mouths, though Nibble's got a bit more to his body. He is one of the very few monsters that can swim through sand as if it were more traditional water. But the first thing you need to know about old Snarfy Boy is he has one hell of a stomach. It is just indomitable. He can eat and will eat barrel bombs that will explode point blank internally, and it will be nothing more than a mild case of heartburn. Though amusingly, after this has happened, the brief surprise it causes allows you to fish Nibelsnarf out the ground for a little bit of an opportunity to get stuck in. It's a lovely little interaction abusing his ecology, and I really do appreciate it. I feel right proper huntery whenever this comes up. So, Nibelsnarf, fairly low down the food chain. It can kinda compete with your Cephadromes, with your Tiger Stripe Zamtrios, but your Diablos is gonna, well, absolutely decimate it. They hunt mainly on Renephilos, absolutely crunching through their hard exterior like it was paper, and for the most part swallowing whole is their preference too. Now, to swim through the sand, they obviously have to get through it, and chiefly that is eating their way through. They can filter out anything they don't want through their salamander-esque gills on either side of their head, and they can also use this offensively as a high-powered blowback of rock and dirt to force enemies away. But this combination twixt muscle tail and eat expunge propulsion allows Nibelsnarf to move Nibelsnarf, honestly, allows it to move at quite respectable speeds. Now, they are incredibly greedy little blighters. They will eat bloody anything, not just the barrel bombs as I said, but if it fits they're gonna try and shove it in their gob, and you know, I mean, whatever works for them, but it does result in them occasionally eating things like, I mean, I don't know, an entire merchant's cart in one go.
I didn't do that.
Nibelsnarf then very much interact with the world through a sense of hearing. Their eyes not too strong and, well, located squarely on the top of their noggin, meaning they get a good view of the sky.
What the fuck is this?
I mean, technically, while they're underground, it lets them look up, but, like, if they're underground and they look up, it's just a load of sand and dirt and rock, and I feel like the eyes are wrong. Like, I don't want to just say this to you, Nibelsnarf, because you're a weird, beautiful, freaky, charming monster, which is also, incidentally, the tagline that I would put on a dating profile for myself. But I just feel like your eyes are fucked up. It's like you don't gain anything from either not being able to see forward while on the surface or being able to see the dirt above you while underground. It's just hugely disadvantageous. Fortunately, though, as I said, hearing is where it's at, and it doesn't seem to bother them. They do look ridiculous, though, and they are big fans of blending in with their environment, acting as, I'm not a Nibelsnarf, I'm just a sand dune. What? This waste sand that you keep seeing being blown up and churned away? That could be anything. It doesn't mean I am the Nibelsnarf. They're both great and terrible at hiding, and that's the thing, actually. That's the theme with both these monsters. They're great and terrible in every aspect. They're either amazing or what the hell, and it's just this mix of love and what I feel for them both that just makes me so endeared, but also I'm okay if I don't go near them. It's a strange feeling to feel, but they are certainly both very, very unique little critters. But by far Nibelsnarf's most potent offensive capacity is to vacuum in a absolutely metric ton of sand, dirt and stone and pelt it out in a wind tunnel-esque blast, shredding shell, flesh and bone like a beam of sandpaper. It gets the job done. Though the most striking feature of this creature is its mouth. But no. I know you might think, well, yeah, you've said that, like, it's been the theme the entire... No. What specifically is in his mouth? His very much colourful, enlarged uvula, which hangs down, glowing and inviting you to just stab it, just absolutely mess it up. Because this is a critical organ for this Leviathan of the desert, for without it, it has no capacity to store and distribute nutrients that it needs to, you know, keep living throughout its body. This organ, then, it will attempt to protect at all costs, though it does consistently swallow squirming, dangerous creatures right past it. Again, it just feels like Nibelsnarf was the leftover of, well, we have all these ideas left, let's just... Snarf! Nibelsnarf, that'll... Will this do, Greg? Look, Steve, I just want to go home. Make the fucking clown throat, jaw, eye top. I don't give a fuck. We just need a monster. Alright, well, okay, that's fair enough. I'll just put this in. I just don't get it. But it's okay. Because, sadly, no devastatingly scary secret to reveal about Nibble. They are as they are. So, these two guys in World. I mean, I'm obviously all for it, just because of how, let's go with unique. Here they are. And Gobul, not so much, because obviously he really does need water to function. He's pretty much walled until water returns. He's just nothing on land. Though, again, I'd like little hints at him around, like Cadeus in the ocean, if we ever get a more watery, maybe islandy, Zora-y zone. But Nibelsnarf, Marf, Chaff, seriously, every time, would do wonders in the desert, unlike anything else in the game by a long shot, and actually not having a proper sand swimmer is really sad to me. You have Diablos in the underground, sure, and you have, you know, watery mud swimmy in Geratodus, but, like, you have a really lovely open deserty zone in the Wildspire, and not having a true sand swimmer kind of upsets me. They're always a staple of Monster Hunter, and I think Nibble is actually the best choice out of them all, just because of how him he is. Let me know what you guys think, though. I mean, he makes sense, and it would be, well, I think we would get him if Leviathans were ever fixed and added. I still can't believe that that would never happen. There's no way they're not capable of making them functional. It's not impossible, surely. I hold my breath in hope for whatever ultimate version of World we end up actually getting. So there you have the Lanternfish Wyvern and the Latent Mouth Wyvern doing their freaky thing. Like you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more. My name has been Josh, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Drop on the deck and flop like a fish!
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.